Hello, hello, and welcome to Simulacra Studios presents Trinity, Continuum, Aeon, VARG Force Salvation. I forgot the game I was running for a moment.
It's Monday.
It is Monday. I am your humble story guide, Scott. My pronouns are he, him. And we're going to throw it to Nigel to start off the popcorn introductions.
Hello, my name is Nigel O'Rear. My pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Flight Lieutenant Jude Fletcher. I will throw it to Josh.
Hi there, everyone. I am Josh Heath. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing looks upward toward the stars and sees danger, ear laughs at and destroys a listener. And they use they, them pronouns. And I'm going to kick it to Jim, who is playing a character.
That is right. I am playing a character. Hi, my name is James or Jim. I use he, they pronouns, or I'll kind of answer to whatever you throw at me. I am playing Staff Sergeant Logan McCall, who may or may not slap his lieutenant this game. We will see. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Johnathan.
Hello, everybody. My name is Johnathan. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Delta Operative Rafael Alvarez Castillo. And I'm definitely going to have some opinions about things this session. And I'm going to bounce it to our last player now. Who knows who he is? And I am very tired. I just got off work, so I'm blanking on people's real names.
You're muted, Sean.
I'm Sean Creef. I'm playing Wu Cesar, who is he, him. I am also he, him. I'm the only one here who I don't think has a cool military rank in character, but I do plan on contemplating introducing Jude to the Vega system. Hopefully not. Doesn't happen, though.
We will have to see how that all shakes out. So, you may sense some tension in the room. When last we left our sci-fi heroes out in space, they were guests of someone who claims the title of Nova, although what that means and where the line is drawn is very sketchy. Within the Vega system, which is also host to the headquarters and main stronghold of the definitely aberrant the colony. Their host, the Nova known as the Scarlet, had taken Flight Lieutenant Jude Fletcher off to the side to perform some tests, to examine him and perhaps assist him in something that might facilitate communication in the upcoming campaign against the colony. When in the vestiges of a memory, however, Jude was contacted by the colony and offered power and transformation because the colony seemed to be offended by what had been done to cap and contain Jude's quantum potential, becoming superior as opposed to erupting as a nova. This is an offer that, taken in the form of a sort of illusory glass of some amber alcoholic liquid, that Jude has accepted. We came then over briefly to Laughs, who detected a sudden change, a sudden shift in the nature of energy in the local continuum of the universe. I would like everyone, with the exception of Jude, to roll initiative for me, please, because timing is going to be important.
Well, I'm not terrified at all.
That is going to be the lower of your Dex plus Empathy or Athletics plus Cunning. And just please put how many successes you have in the chat. Fun times with initiative. No, yeah, not Jude. You are not rolling initiative at the moment. Noted. Okay, so we got initiative order here. This is more just for timing purposes than unless someone wants to start pulling guns. So appropriately, Laughs is the first to be able to take an action. What would you like to do, having been hit by this feeling of wrongness and strangeness that just sort of comes upon you suddenly?
I would like I think Laughs would immediately run to any other scion who is within movement distance of them, which is quite a distance, but he will skitter to them as fast as possible, screaming at the top of ear lungs.
Well, you are in a room with everyone, not Jude.
Great.
So yeah.
Then Laughs will run up the wall,
Okay.
screaming, and then wrap arms around Logan and Woo.
Okay. So are you attempting to form a link or a bond of some sort? Is that or
when they're coherent enough, yes. Okay. But right now, there is just screaming in fear and shock.
Okay. If that's all you're gonna do, let's just go ahead and give you a quick attunement roll, please.
Great. That's 3 successes.
Okay. You sense something is wrong with Jude. Like you have enough of a connection to him, you have enough of a connection, and what is wrong with him is that you feel that connection fraying.
I think the only coherent thing that Laughs will say at the very end, wrapping arms around folks, is Jude's broken, and we will all fall into the abyss of the darkness. The darkness will encase us all.
All right. With that said, we will go over to Raphael, who is next.
Okay.
Yeah. What sort of reaction would you have not only to what reaction would you have to this sudden outpouring of emotion and action from Laughs?
Initially, before any coherent thought comes out, it's just Jesus Christ. Because
Well, he's not coming they aren't coming for you.
I know, but just hearing the outburst and seeing the wall running, it's definitely a moment of how can you not have that reaction? After that announcement, though, or just after the Jude's broken bit, I'm actually not certain because I believe that we had to come unarmed in here, and
you do have like your personal weapons, but you do not have your VARGs.
Oh, well, then that's different. Then since I'm gonna let the Scions have their moment, I'm simply going to draw nearer to my allies and draw.
Okay.
Just to be ready.
Weapon. Just be ready. Please roll your inspiration plus your intuitive facet for me, please.
Oh boy. I can definitely do that. One moment. Give me 1 second, because I got to re-roll one of these.
Sure thing.
That would be 7 successes.
Dope. As you're drawing yourself into attention, you're drawing yourself to make ready. You're sort of pulling upon all the things that you know, and Raphael, being a talent who works for the Aeon Society, you know what you are, and you know sort
Yeah.
of on a not so much on an instinctual level, but more of like a trained level. You know how you do the things that you do. You know that you are accessing shards of the multiverse and
Yes.
are swapping. So you just sort of like taking that moment to just get yourself ready puts you in like the perfect frame of mind to realize something is happening on that level. You intuit, you live in a universe where there's, psi and quantum and the flux that you wield.
Mhm.
So things are kind of loosey-goosey. But you know that someone just broke a rule. Like a capital R rule.
Oh, fuck.
Something that, the great powers of the universe, have difficulty circumventing if able to do it all. And your mind spreads out from the past, the recent past to the somewhat recent, upcoming future, grasping at things. And even with that roll, your mind just kind of latches on to a moment in time in the recent past that you understand is the only anchor point that you have to try and change something or to counteract this or to do something about what's happening. And it is the moment in time just before Jude left the room. And you spoke 10 words to him. You're a grown-ass man. You make your own choices.
Oh, fuck.
With that roll, knowing that this is your only shot at affecting this before the timelines start to fray out and become truly chaotic, would Raphael have said something different? You can think on that.
Yes. I will think on it,
Mhm.
but I believe so. I will
That-
let the others do their things
Yep.
first.
We will get back to you in time then.
Thank you.
We will move over to Logan. So how do you react to the starfish squid doing some parkour onto your face and spouting prophecy doom?
So the initial, he just thinks it's laughs kind of being laughs. They do kind of weird stuff, but the screaming throws him off instantly, and being a man who always assumes the worst possible outcome, he's like, this can't be good. Do we feel corruption or anything?
Make an attunement roll.
That is psi plus highest mode.
Yes.
I remember somewhat of the system. I am learning.
Mhm.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes. Yes, you have been feeling corruption. You've been feeling it all around you. It's that weird kind of not what you associate with your other experiences with aberrants.
Yeah.
But you do feel a sudden spike of it.
Yeah. He would definitely assume the worst, that Jude said something to piss off the Scarlet. And he's going to throw up energy shield around himself and all of his companions, bracing for an incoming attack.
Okay, make that roll. And then we'll move to Woo. She's all right.
That is 4 successes.
Noted. So yes, you are also getting glomped by the starfish squid. with prophecies of dooms, what would your reaction be to that?
I'm gonna put 2 hands on just between 2 of his 5 limbs, like laughs. Are those 2 related? The Jude broken in the abyss. Are those the same? 'Cause I know
Yes, it is. It's all connected. It's all the universe shreds at its center.
What do we do?
Don't fall. Pull him back. It's too late.
I'm gonna try and do that then,
Okay.
which is pull him back.
Before you do, please give me an attunement roll,
All right.
just for shits and giggles.
Also note that you are now also surrounded by psychokinetic energy shield. Like,
Yeah, the bubble went up, and it is.
it is very much Destiny Titan bubble is now around us.
2 successes on the attunement.
2 successes. As you start to like shake out your powers, your spatial sense triggers you to a portal forming
Where?
within your attunement range, somewhere nearby. Yeah, there is a portal forming essentially right now.
Now, normally, shouldn't I know exactly where it is?
Yes, you do. Well, you do know exactly where it is, but like
Where that is, I don't know.
where that is, you don't know. Like it's somewhere. You would gather it's somewhere inside this compound, not too far away. What would your character do?
Does it feel corrupt?
Yes, it feels. How many successes did you get?
Just 2.
Just 2. Yeah, it's quantum based.
We've got incoming.
We are going to move back into the examination room, where Jude and the Scarlet are in fairly close quarters. As the quantum begins to roil inside of you, she instantly clocks what's happening. And when you're in this sort of like moment of incapacitation, as there's nothing that you can do but ride the quantum lightning, she essentially forms a portal behind you and tackles you through it. And you're barely registering what is happening around you, but you are in the sky now, and being held by her. And then your consciousness gets pulled back. Through the chaos, through the haze, you're back in that moment. You have the hand on the glass. And you're about to take it. When you remember, you just recall Raphael saying something to you right before you left to have this examination. What 10 words would you have said instead, Raphael?
Be careful and be cautious, Lieutenant. Remember, we need you.
Now, would that change anything?
I think I would like to invoke one of my flashbacks to help answer that question.
Okay. We're playing this game. All right. So in this moment of fractured time, of different possibilities in space that is not space, and yet surrounded by your companions in their own tracks along the possibilities. Hand touches glass. We pull away. The nice Lost whoosh plays. And please set the scene for us, Nigel.
So it is high above Earth. so high that the actual curvature of the earth can be seen. We see a coastline stretching off to infinity, and the sunrise as it does every 45 to 90 minutes when you are in that particular orbit, depending on your speed. And the absolute silent serenity is broken by the thin whine of a failing aerospace fighter's engine as it sputters down to nothing, spiraling. This crippled craft is re-entering Earth's atmosphere at completely the wrong angle, and its lone occupant, Jude, is fighting for whatever control he can get of the vehicle, and is, for all of his training and all of his stoicism and all of his superior powers, is having a panic attack.
And there is a voice coming through his communicator headpiece. What is the voice saying?
Fletcher, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here. I can't see anything. I got no instrumentation.
Green, do you have a window?
I gotta take the blast shields off. Yeah.
Where are you?
I am. The number is dropping too rapidly. I'm not even 100 up yet now. I'm going to 80. I'm going to 80. I'm down. I'm going down.
Breathe. You're going to get warm.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I want you to do. Do you feel the restart pump underneath your seat? There should be a small connector. You just pull that and it hits the backup generator. Is that still there?
There's like cluttering and fumbling. Even in a very tight little fighter, there's still enough room for Jude to flail. And just hysteria creeping into his voice. Yeah, it's still here. What do I do? What do I do?
Okay, I want you to pull that and hold on tightly and hope that this works.
And Jude will do so with shaky hands.
Hopefully that was going to be an eject, and I don't think it's going to work because that would be too easy.
Go ahead.
High or low?
Hi.
Did we lose you? I'm sorry. I'm asking Jude for high or low.
Oh, gotcha. Hi. I'll repeat Sean's call for hi.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear Sean.
No worries.
Hold on, dice roller. It's a 7. You pull it, and even more movement and sound and chaos enters into your brain, as just things rapidly shift. And when you are able to have coherent senses and thoughts again, you are suspended, slowly descending high above, the in the atmosphere as you watch the craft go down in a blaze of fire, and you're gonna live. We have that whoosh back. The scene shifts back, nested into another reverie, with the glass in hand. What do you do? If you'd like to make, since we're doing this as a reverie, and that does give you dice benefits, I would suggest an integrity roll if you'd like to leave it up to the dice.
I would. Let me do an integrity roll, because I really am of several minds of this.
Mm-hmm. And I will give that roll. I would say that was a pretty good scene. I will give that target number 7.
Okay. I'd like to roll composure integrity. And I'm trying to see if I've got anything else. Would Iron Will factor into this?
I would say it would, yes.
What about any of the specialties? What about the specialty of morale or leadership?
Pick one of them.
Leadership.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm making I'm sorry, which edge did we say Iron Will? Hang on.
Iron Will.
We'll look up extremely strong will. Every dot, you gain an enhancement to all actions to resist fear, torture, interrogation, or mind-altering drugs. So I get 3 enhancement from that. I am rolling 6 dice, and it's at 7s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and how much does the does the specialty give me?
If you are, it depends on your skill level. The skill level of the specialty that you're calling on. If you're at 3 dots, it's 1, 4 dots 2, 5 dots 3.
Okay, I'm at 3, so that'll be 1 additional enhancement for a total of 4 enhancement on 6d10, where 7s count as a success. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes plus 4, and one of those is a 10.
Okay.
So 5 successes and a 1. So 5 successes, 4, so 9 total.
So in recovery programs, they talk sometimes about a moment of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
A moment when you have to look at yourself, look at your actions, and look at your your choices, and you can't delude yourself. And I would say that amount of successes would definitely constitute a moment of clarity for Jude. And yet, you can still make this choice, but now of complete sound mind and body.
There is a moment of pause where the glass jerks back. But then Jude looks at the glass and looks at the little old man. And he throws it in his face, saying, if you have to use my sickness to get to me, then I want nothing to do with you. And I will drop the glass on the ground.
The man just sort of wipes some liquid out of his eyes, and as the space starts to collapse even further into a nothingness, where it is just you and just him, inches apart, you see it says, I will enjoy dissecting you on a molecular level to find how they have performed this blasphemy. And you slap back into reality. Before all of this, you were attempting to become very charming in an attempt to get the Scarlet to slip up. Thinking back to the scene that happened before I turned your life upside down, I would say that would give you the 9 again roll to make that roll.
Yes.
This is you have vague memories of what just happened. You know that you have been through something, but like every moment that happens, the memories get a little fuzzier. So you're just sort of like functioning on autopilot, going through the action that you were. Before you make that roll, we zoom back into the room with the rest of you. Logan, that spike of corruption just seems to dissipate out of nowhere and into nothingness. Cesar, that portal that was forming collapses in on itself, is not there anymore. Raphael, you feel things sort of slap back together, reweave themselves. And whereas before you were on the teetering edge of what you think might be breaking off into a different timeline, the course writes itself. And a memory dislodges itself from your brain, something that you hadn't actively thought of in a long time. Something that it just sort of pops into your brain, and it's you, and you're sitting in a room, definitely something pressurized. It has the feel of a space station. And you can see out a viewport, you see the rings of Saturn. And you're sitting across from an old man, and he's saying to you, you definitely have potential. You have potential to go farther than many can. You just have to be ready to seize the opportunity when it comes. And you remember yourself saying, "Thank you, Councilman Mercer. I'll do my best." And then he turns to someone behind him and says, "Unfortunately, my friend Mr. Stiles here is going to have to remove all memories of this conversation." Laughs. With the exception of what just happened in Raphael's mind, you remember all of it.
So Laughs never been a particularly religious listener, which is a little bit awkward because they are a very spiritual, people that tend to have a really strong adherence to one of their monastic traditions or another. Laughs is going to spin around so they're upside down, which is an incredibly dangerous position and one only done in religious supplication. Wrap arms around Raphael's legs and just scream whisper, "The future is saved. At least for now. You bring doors that are opened and now closed." And then they're going to get up. And all right. So what do we do now?
Well, what Wu does is start swearing in a combination of English, Spanish, and Chinese. Just utterly frustrated. I don't even know how much I remember of what just happened, but Laughs is being extra laughs.
What about Logan? How's Logan going to respond?
He's still maintaining that shield.
Noted.
He is a hardened combat veteran. Weird shit happens all the time in a firefight. So he is still holding up that shield, waiting to see if everything's okay.
Okay. And what about Raphael?
Raphael is going to holster his weapon, take a deep breath. I need to sit down.
All right. We will return to the
And
examination.
if he can't go through the shielding, he's literally just going to sit on the floor.
I do not have selective permeability, so you're stuck, I believe.
I'm
Nice.
going to sit on the floor, just cross-legged,
Like-
staring off into space.
Leaning against the bubble. I love, yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
All right, we return once again to the examination room, where you were about to make a persuasion roll, Jude. With 9 again.
And again, I'll be doing I'll do manipulation persuasion.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would would military history have any bearing as a specialty?
I don't think so. You're
Okay.
trying to put the moves on.
Yeah. So 8d10 with 9 again. Thank God for that. I got 2 successes, both 9s. So 2d10. So 2 successes plus 1 more. 3 total.
Okay. You put your best face forward. You essentially get her to because she was like in the process of like going through a bunch of like examination tools and other sort of analysis, and she was just kind of like in it. But you're able to like call her attention for a moment, and she says, "Yes, I'm sorry, I get involved in things. How can I help you?"
Nigel can't remember what the purpose of the role was because it's been
It's been a hot minute. You were essentially attempting to get her off her guard or just like disrupt her process in an attempt to get some like as an overture to start trying to like get her more information out of her.
Gotcha. I appreciate the personal touch, but do I have to be a science experiment? I'm just trying to better understand the situation and the field, as it were. I don't want to seem rude, but
she like delicately with like telegraphing her move, like goes to put a hand on your chest and says,
I let her.
"I understand. Again, I apologize. I did not mean to make you feel like you were on a microscope. It's just what has been done, what you are, is fascinating."
I can understand that. I will be honest. I can give you an academic overview of the process, but in terms of specifics, I don't think I can communicate much. And I believe by design, the process doesn't leave much behind, as it were, only the results, which I'd be happy to demonstrate. Anyone has
I would love to
gun.
see whatever it is that you can present. You said you needed you used to discharge your firearm?
Well, sort of. I have some minor durability enhancement. In terms of tactics, I'm a very fast thinker, approaching what would be considered superhuman levels. I tend to be good in a crowd, especially when it comes to leading others or understanding the room, as it were. But I understand those are not as flashy as turning into a flock of birds.
Well, perhaps this will be the simplest way. You said your tactical ability is enhanced, and she like presses a few buttons on her terminal, and like the smallest form of Go board, like holographically projects itself, and says, "Our AIs are competent. Let's see how you do."
Jude's already studying like the board state. Is it physically smaller, or is it
No,
a full-sized go?
It's a full.
Board?
It It's a full-size Go board, but like the smallest configuration, like the one for quick games.
Right. Yes, I understand. Cool. Then yeah, I am totally going to let's see, use superior processing and tactician to make that magic happen.
All right.
Look those up real quick.
Make an Enigmas roll for me, please.
I can do that. Where's freaking Prometheus Unbound when you need it? There it is. Is that the new one?
No, it's Aeon. I think Aeon expansion has those powers.
It does. Thank you. Sorry.
I don't think there's literally anything for you in Prometheus Unbound.
Yeah.
There isn't. There is not. Okay. Superior powers, mental.
Makes me feel smart for having pulled up the book beforehand and scrolled down to where all my powers are.
So, superior processor lets me play out what-if scenarios and process spatial data mentally. When I receive complex information that involves any amount of math, physics, or mapping, I automatically overcome one milestone to analyze it. And tactician, I have at 3 max level. I always have a backup plan. I essentially can use dramatic editing once per session. But I also have...
Yeah, there should be lower powers that might be a little bit more applicable to that.
Humanities or culture plus cunning, difficulty 1. I get essentially a previous detail of a previous similar situation, how it went from you. And when I take time to prepare for a tense event, culture, or close combat plus resolve to generate a pool of successes, I give these to my allies to use as enhancements.
Right. Yeah, go ahead and let's just quick and dirty. Let's give you 3 enhancement on an Enigmas roll.
I'm good with that.
To play a quick game of Go.
All right. Enigmas, and I'll do cunning. So that'll be 3d10 because I don't have enigmas, but you said 3 enhancement.
Yeah.
That is a botch.
All right then. So
I look over and I'm all like, yes, click.
Yeah.
What game is this?
Whatever their system is just it's just so lightning fast. Like you're playing against like an artificial opponent that just like within a few moves is able to like pen you in and cream you. She says, I see. Well, I was able to watch, and there is certainly things. Your processes are enhanced. I think you just got off on the wrong foot on this one.
Well,
but I think I begin to understand. And she says, I think I can help you. I think I can help. There is an ability that many of my kind have that allows for communication on the quantum wavelength. I think if you study some of the documentation that we have on that particular ability, one of the things we do here is we try to understand as much as possible the minutiae of power and its capacity. So we have extensive documentation on mostly quantum-based abilities, some psi as well. But if you read this documentation, I believe you may be able to develop something that will allow us to keep in touch, at least while we're within the solar system, this solar system. And essentially, you can purchase a mental power that is roughly equivalent to the transmission mega edge from Aberrant, which is essentially just allows you communication with quantum users with whom you are familiar.
Okay. I don't know if I've got any leftover XP. Oh, I've got 15. So yeah, how much will that cost?
Those powers are super goddamn cheap.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no.
Yeah, either
4
3 or
XP for a dot.
yeah,
Shouldn't have given him like a cell phone.
yeah. Yeah, so you're able to look over that and develop it. And it's been probably like in total, it's been about 45 minutes. The big weird shit happened somewhere in between them in the middle of that. So you guys have like a couple of minutes to like calm down, reorient yourself. Nothing bad happens in those times. Would any of you do anything within those like 10 or so minutes before Jude comes back?
Scott, I think in the last couple of moments, Laughs would attempt to now I can't remember the exact power, but the one that lets him create a save point, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that one. That's
Yeah.
fine. So you will have a save point within a couple of moments of Jude coming in.
Cool.
Anyone else?
As discussed in the chat, since Raphael's still freaking out, I'll just grab him a chair psionically, bring it into the bubble, have a seat after him.
And that is the clumsiest job, standing up and getting into the chair. Just a little shaken.
What about
Nice.
Logan? How long does the paranoia bubble keep up?
Oh, it stays up until Jude comes in. Even if Logan himself relaxes a little bit,
Okay.
he is still focusing enough to maintain that until he can verify that his lieutenant, he would add a lot more colorful words in there, but his lieutenant is okay and not a gelatinous pile of space goop.
Noted. All right. So, that being said, so the Scarlet sort of walks you back to the room, and says, "Feel free to reach out when you feel yourself comfortable with the ability."
I appreciate it.
And she like looks down the hall, and there's an attendant kind of like getting her attention, and she says, "Pardon me," and
Of course.
she leads you to the door and then goes to talk to the attendant.
I look over. Is your shield visible?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, shimmering telekinetic energy.
Yeah.
Everything okay, Staff Sergeant?
There was an incident.
It's okay. Drop the shield. Drop the shield.
It's-
It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Give me 2 seconds. And as he says, give me 2 seconds, the shield starts to sort of dissipate.
Lash
I
runs
felt a
over and
spike of-
hugs Jude.
Did you? Were you? Was there? Did you feel you were in danger? It laughs. It's okay.
So
I'm not letting go.
there was a
I don't want to
spike
speak for Laughs too much, but I think you broke the universe briefly.
Gave me an exam.
You broke.
I don't
I
know.
don't know about breaking the universe. All I knew is there was a spike of corruption in the area, inconsistent to what I had been monitoring and feeling, and I didn't want to risk it.
It's okay. It's okay. Raphael fixed it.
Also, Raphael fixed it.
The
I
beauty.
didn't do shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
I look at Raphael.
Everyone is just staring at Raphael now.
Time is a circle, friends.
Time is a big bowl of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
I've seen that episode.
You make me feel old.
So
Explain.
tactically, I say, looking over to Logan, you did not perceive a corporeal threat, but a psionic one, for lack of a better term, a metaphysical threat.
Yes, thus the energy shield instead of the physical shield.
Understood.
I did not. None of us are equipped currently to be able to take on massive amounts of corruption.
No.
We would suffer very very bad fates.
The universe opened up and swallowed you and spat you back out, but it's okay. We're good. You're fine.
So you
Stroking your head.
thank you. That's fine. So you perceived something happening to me.
Is that to Logan?
No, I'm pointing to Laughs.
We all knew that yesterday was bad, but tomorrow's even worse. But we're okay now.
And I looked to Raphael, and you didn't do anything.
Nothing that I am willing to talk about while we are here in this place.
Understood.
Out of curiosity,
Explain later.
do we remember what Raphael had originally said or what he adjusted it to?
You remember what he adjusted it to.
Darn. That'll be really an entertaining, traumatic moment.
Well, I will say that thanks to the Scarlet's generosity, she has transmitted some documentation on a radio telepathy power that I think I can make work as a superior. I'm reading over a lot of theory right now. But aside from that, and just a couple of trips through whatever scanning equipment she had, and a really shitty game of Go, that was all that happened in there. Maybe that's what you saw. Did you see a lot of black and white Laughs? Was there like round stones? Intense frustration?
Like the universe's black and white stones.
Right. And it's all like states and what is going to happen and what isn't. And you really should have seen that ladder coming, but it snuck up on you like an idiot.
Can I make some kind of roll to see if he's hiding something from us?
Yeah, you can make an empathy roll. And you can make it against your integrity. A contested roll against your integrity, Jude.
Sure. I have an integrity of 0. Outrageous. I guess I'll roll composure, just flat composure.
Sure.
3d10. 1 in success, which is a 10. 1 success.
I ended up with 3.
Yeah, I mean it's you get the sense that he's not being as forthcoming with you as he may be, but it's not like the active will to deceive. It's more based on like confusion and not certain where he stands, because like I said, your memories of what happened, like your memories of the things that happened in the reveries, you remember like recalling those and reliving those experiences for some reason. The thing that happened in the space with no space, you just remember like intense personal conflict, internal conflict. And, you vaguely remember his face.
Logan will give Jude a very like, I know you're hiding something kind of look, but he's not actually going to bring it up yet.
So, in terms of our immediate surroundings, what other business do we have to attend to?
Did Scarlet want anything from us besides what we have already handled?
Nothing that she expressed to me. I mean,
Yeah, to remind everyone, what has sort of already gone beyond, because it's been a hot minute. The Scarlet has sort of shown you a place within Vega Prime that would be according to her, an ideal place to put the beacon that would reveal something of great importance for the clairsentients back home, for the purpose of waging this war directly on the colony.
The tower.
Yeah, a large
tower.
and like 5 miles beneath it, there is like the safest place in the galaxy. It's something has been reinforced with quantum, every kind of quantum defenses that can possibly be mustered. And she also has given you essentially a data chip that if you put if you put the SI that you guys have as sort of like your mission companion AI SI, it will apparently upgrade that, because the electronic warfare capacities of the tower and of the colony like around there are apparently just godlike, and this is sort of would be a counter to that. Beyond that, you guys got some shit to do. But as far as what you need to do here, unless you have any tantalizing ideas.
And didn't we also see like the floating cancerous scrotal eye of the colony?
Yeah, you saw the cancer ball.
Yeah.
Which apparently exists in locked semi-orbit above the spire.
well, if there's nothing else for us here, then I would recommend that we reascend the space elevator and get back to our own base to continue our planning.
Yeah, I'd love to get the fuck out of here.
That feels most appropriate.
I will say the only other thing that's kind of leaving dangling that you guys haven't explored here is whatever is the source, the strong source of psi that this planet emanates. That the number of natural psi users that you have encountered or seen would not account for. But that might just be a hanging chad of a plot line. Depending
Fascinating, but not the mission.
Yeah, it exists outside of the scope of our very immediate needs.
I don't think Laughs would not want to figure that out.
Okay.
So much so, but waiting till right as we're about to leave, Laughs would again scream.
What now?
Who broke it this time?
What about the
No.
psi here? What about it?
The Cyball?
No, not the psi ball. The strong psionic energy, the noetic force that is present here. We haven't figured it out. Don't figure it out. Do we figure it out?
Not now, we don't.
Cesar, you can't tell me we just left?
We completed our mission, and then we considered coming back.
I believe the English term is you are bug nuts.
Laughs I appreciate your curiosity, but at this point, we have to weigh our current tactical situation. If you can justify the investiture of resources that making that discovery would
Point of
require.
order. Cesar and I and Logan and you and Delta Operative Raphael, the best, most powerful, amazing.
Seriously, not here.
What we will do is we will use your new brain scan to look at the psi source.
But isn't his brain scan quantum based? And also, I want to talk to you about that, Jude. Do you think that's a good idea? I mean, do you trust her enough to add?
Or we could just pop
quantum
over
coding to
there,
your brain?
Cesar. We could just pop over there and check it out and not worry about brain scans with quantum energy. Whatever.
Were we told to avoid this?
I don't believe we were expressly told to avoid it. What I can't remember is, were we told you have to stay in this room?
You were essentially told, like, essentially don't be a nuisance. It's like, if a door's locked, it's locked for a reason, and as a guest, you're not supposed to go in. That kind of level of expectation.
But otherwise, we were allowed to wander.
All right, Scott, can I get a feel for where this noetic source of energy is?
This will be an attunement roll. And what is your attunement range?
Not that large, as I'm not.
Can we link up here to help?
I mean, hold on, let me look at because I believe if you do link up,
Increase, but I think it's just too long or something like that.
I mean, I have enhanced attunement. I can reach out pretty damn far, but I don't know if I can reach out that far.
How
I'm up
how
to
how
Psi-5.
up to Psi-5? Okay, that is the question that I needed to know as far as your attunement rating.
Yeah, mine's 3. Or sorry, medium.
I wanted to play with the new powers. My only other Trinity game I was playing as a talent, and all of my points went into skills and things that were useful. I want to be able to light shit on fire better.
I gotta look up the linking rules.
Yeah, I'm looking too. Sorry, increases the power's area of effect by 1 range band. Linking with teleportation.
I will say that if you link either of you, since I probably your best chance at this will be if Logan and Cesar link up, and Logan makes an attunement roll with that enhancement.
For
Logan,
me,
can you try and find it?
I mean, yeah, they reached out to me first, so I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know if they like me or not, but
I'm gonna put a hand on his shoulder. Laughs, you want to get in here, buddy?
Oh yeah.
Always and forever.
I feel the snaky starfish tentacle grasping my arm.
Yeah, last. What is your attunement range base?
So it is based on psi, right?
It's based on psi, and you add your highest clairsentience dot to that to determine it, because you are a because you have that basic ability.
Dang it. Sorry, I lost the table. Where's the table? There it is, attunement range. It is extreme. then if I get
Okay,
to
all right.
add my.
So
Yep.
yeah, you're basically both. You're both of you are equivalent. So yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead and have you both make the roll. With the enhancement that you're getting from Cesar.
And that's just a range enhancement on success.
Yeah, it basically it pushes you out one range band higher,
Okay.
which is what you will need.
I got 3 successes.
I only got 2, so
Okay. So you guys focus on this, as I'm assuming, like, what are Jude and Raphael doing while the Scions navel gaze?
I'm sorry, I just internalized what you said and I can't not giggle. It's like, oh, all right, they're doing their thing. Okay, great. Cool.
What about Jude? Are you just packing up, reviewing documentation? What's the plan?
Packing up, but looking back over at the wet bar.
Okay, it's fully stocked. Okay, so the 3 of you merge your consciousnesses and push out. And as you're sort of pushing around, feeling out through, trying to find that source, it's like entering into the radius of a magnetic field. Once you get a sniff of it, the strength of it pulls your consciousness to it. And you feel like your senses piggyback along with it. And Logan, your sort of your sense of the physical, you feel it's massive. It's a large physical location where it is emanating to and confined to. Probably you don't know the geography too well, but you would guess it would be on a different continent, that sort of distance away, but it is some sort of large physical location that is just like emanating and pushing out psi energy.
This type of thing is what you do best and what scares the shit out of every listener on Skate. Let's go check it out.
Wait, what kind of thing?
That thing.
We didn't do that.
I am not saying you did. I'm saying that's the kind of thing that scares us. Because it shouldn't be here. Who knows what it's doing? It doesn't want to kill us.
Okay,
Awesome.
First of all, maybe it should be here.
Maybe.
Judgmental.
But if it should be here,
I mean,
why wasn't it here yesterday? Oh, it was. Let's go check it out.
consider
Alright.
the alternative, Laughs. If that wasn't here, the Scarlet could not be. I mean, yes, they are a eugenicist, but they are also actively defending their people using that power.
Are they?
All right, guys, the Cesar Express is
Bye.
getting ready to depart. If you want a weapon, get it out now.
By having that here and generating these scions, they are, because then none of her people are at risk.
Of that thing?
I only know it's a thing. I don't know if it's hostile.
Go check it out.
I run over and grab a bottle and then run back and like put my hand on Cesar's shoulder.
You don't have to touch me.
Oh, yes, you do. Touching helps.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Don't drink the way ridiculously old liquor, please, dear God.
That's the best kind of liquor.
Not
2 successes. If I need more, I will spend momentum.
I will say that you are able to, with this sort of connection that you guys formed with your link. Are you opening up a portal?
No, I'm using transmission 4, which is transmit person, and I can go with them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you guys blink through the subquantum medium. It feels very, for Cesar, who's familiar with this sort of feeling, it's like there's a layer of sandpaper like around the transmission, the transmission through the subquantum medium. Just like that rubbing up against of quantum and psi makes it uncomfortable. To the rest of you who don't have a lot of experience with teleportation, it feels funky. Like it don't feel nice and smooth.
Oh, I've been slimed.
Yeah. But you pop in to what it's like being inside of a massive geode. Like you are most likely subterranean. And there are crystals everywhere. And those of you with a psi rating are just like overwhelmed by the psi emanations from these crystals.
Overwhelmed, like incapacitated, or just it's very wow.
It's very loud. Like you are in the middle of it's like you're in the middle of a chamber full of bells that are all kind of not being struck, but are like harmonizing against each other with the vibration of psi energy.
Anyone else feel their teeth?
Jude and Raphael, pretty crystals.
Yep.
Like
Scott, are these this similar type of crystal to those used to store psi? Maybe I'm making this up. Isn't there like a psi storage crystal thing?
Vocal crystals, but they're noetic biotech.
yeah. Give me a science roll.
Okay. Oh yeah, I got tons of that. Actually, I do. Oh wow. That is 4 successes.
Yes, but naturally occurring.
Laughs, scream, whispers. These are naturally developed psi crystals. Everybody, this is miraculous. This is exactly the type of shit that scares my people.
Nature.
These don't normally exist naturally in the universe. And Lass is going to walk up and touch as many of them as he can.
Yeah, they feel amazing. They're great.
Is this place is this set up like a mine, or is this just a natural cave?
It seems natural. As you're sort of like looking around, you see there's scaffolding that has been built. And as you are like looking down one of these scaffoldings, you start to see like lights, like flashlight type lights coming in, and you start to hear sort of the clattering of people coming your way.
What are they speaking?
Chinese.
What are they saying?
Stuff like, yeah, I felt it too. They're here. This wasn't planned. We got to go check it out. So everyone ready to go? Everyone got like it sounds like a group of alarmed people coming to check out a place that they live in. That just had some intruders show up.
Okay, well, somebody knows we're here.
Oh boy.
Should we leave? Did we leave?
Jude, as this is all sort of starting to rapidly unfold, you feel that kind of like radio-like buzzing coming to your head, and you hear the voice of the Scarlet and says, I think it would be best if you and your team not be on this planet as quickly as possible. We're about to have visitors
from the colony.
Yes. I believe me being warned was a formality. I'm not sure why this is happening. This wasn't scheduled. I mean, perhaps it was the fact that one of his ships got hijacked, but I believe it's fairly urgent.
I understand. We'll return to our ships as soon as we can. Thank you. Since I don't have the hang of that power, everything I just said, I spoke out loud, like literally doing the Professor X thing, touching my head. So the colony is coming to this planet.
Like the colony, or it's people.
Is there really a distinction? We need to leave. The Scarlet says so.
That seems like the most opportune thing to do.
I tried again to take us back to our VARGs.
Yeah, you can focus on them. You handily left some stuff behind to take that, and well, you can, surrounded by all of this psi energy, you actually find it fairly easy to reach out and get you guys back on the station, where your VARGs have been apparently sat there untouched for the time that you've been here. And that is where we're going to take our break. See you in a bit. Welcome back to Simulacra Studios presents Trinity, Continuum, Aeon, VARG for Salvation. I run too many of these. When last we left, the group was exploring very briefly, it seems, a natural formation of psionically active crystals that apparently people live in, or at least people are in, when Jude was given the heads up that something had prompted the colony to announce a visit, probably not directly, but sending representatives shortly to Nest, which prompted the group to skedaddle fairly quickly and efficiently, thanks to Wucesar leaving behind some items that allowed him to teleport you guys back up to where your VARGs are being stolen. Does anyone want to do anything last second before you guys pop out?
Yeah, last second as we're leaving, reach out and scoop up a handful of crystals, and
yeah, you're able to jimmy one loose.
Okay.
Like they're not just like laying around loose, but like there's one that you're able to wrap a tendril around and pop out.
Cool.
Anyone else? All right, yeah. So you guys are in sort of the VARG, not so much the VARG bay because it's not, but it's a vehicle bay. In the sort of the orbital, the upper part of the orbital elevator. The people here seem to be aware of the fact that you guys need to be doing a quick exit, and are not getting in your way or preventing you guys from loading up into your VARGs.
Can I have dropped this in the seats?
Huh?
Can I have dropped this in the seats?
Yeah, sure. With the amount of psi energy that was just ready to pull on, you like had that like moment of finesse and control to pop everyone in the seats. And yeah, get things going. So all of you are like reattuning, booting back up into your VARGs. Your Chin pilot of the transport that is also here is getting ready to go. Seemingly, someone must have informed them. And yeah, you guys are basically no hassles, no nothing. You guys can launch at your will. Now, sort of logistically speaking, you had, if I recall correctly, you guys left your aperture, the thing that links back to the rogue planet. You'd left it at the site where your conflict with the transport occurred. So that is a good deal away. Now, you could go to it, but Wu is also able to teleport it to you, so that you guys can. But that would leave that in the orbit of Nest. How do you guys? Are you even going back to your rogue planet? What is the plan?
I think we need to go back to the rogue planet since we need to upgrade the SI that we have.
Yeah,
We
and
also had taken damage to our VARGs in the last
Yes.
fight that has not been repaired.
So-
Some of
so-
you guys did.
so
Some
how
of
are you
us did.
How are you negotiating getting back to the aperture or bringing the aperture to you or whatever?
What's the plan, oh Cosmic Mighty One?
I think the best plan would be to return to the aperture.
That
If we
wasn't you.
leave it floating, go ahead.
Logan, you're not the oh Cosmic Mighty One.
Who is the Cosmic Mighty One?
Clearly Raphael.
Fuck all the way off. Why are you the way you are?
He's right. You are.
A lot of
Please.
youthful trauma.
I know it's probably just my headcanon, but I imagine Raphael now also has a coffee mug floating in the mass that is their VARG pilot station. Just
Absolutely.
like Logan.
Absolutely.
But
I do not feel comfortable leaving the aperture in orbit around Nest for a lot of
No,
reasons.
we need to get back to the aperture.
So I say we wait a minute.
make for a hasty retreat.
Yeah.
If the colony is on its way, then I pull up my own sensor suite and see what passive readings am I getting that indicate transit is happening in the system. Because if we need to be stealthy right now, then there's options to use the planet as a way to swing behind and hide
slingshot.
ourselves. But
Yeah.
if this is I don't know what are we looking at in terms of signal?
The sensors that you have, and I'll give this to you without a roll, do not detect anything like ship movements. You thinking about and something kind of trips in your memory of for some reason you associate that face, the face of the Chinese man, you associate that with the colony. Just a leap of logic occurs in your head, and some sort of and it feels personal in a way when you make that connection. And you think that if it's sending something, it's probably going to give as little time as possible, which would mean a warp.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that however they're getting from point A to point B, because it is a huge distance across from one planet to the other, quickest way is to, cut out the intervening space.
You did, right.
And I will remind you all that the way that you guys got from where the aperture was to this planet was the hijacked transport.
Right.
That had the sublight, the near light speed drive, which is docked up to this place as well.
I don't think we should take the ship, to be honest. I think leaving it here would be better in appearance.
Well, are we on our transport or are we in just our VARGs?
You are
We're in
in
the
your
VARGs.
you are in your VARGs, and the transport can latch at your VARGs to it and go, but it cannot go at the same speed. You're talking probably at least a week transit time using your transport from here to where the aperture currently is.
Then yeah, Woo, I think we're going to need to expedite our getting to the aperture, not the aperture coming here.
Okay, this isn't going to be as fast because your guys' VARGs aren't as full as mine.
Do what you gotta.
Okay.
I am going to try and open a gateway.
Okay.
It's going to cost me a lot of psi. 5.
It's okay. You can go submerge in the hot tub when we get back to the planet.
Yeah, because it's 2 dots over what I have. And
Can I loan him side?
no, I have enough. It's just 2
Oh.
dots above my transportal rating.
You guys currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of momentum.
Can I spend 5 of them?
Yes.
You may.
Thumbs up. Do it.
Because I want to get us out of here.
Okay.
So that goes from 5 to 10.
Dumb person not familiar with the system. What's the limit on spending momentum? If we had 10, could someone spend 10 on a roll?
I can only ever spend half at once.
Okay.
3, which should be just enough to open the portal.
Yeah, if it's 2 above,
kind of-
then yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of like push out, like you network in your mind, like the familiar locations of the aperture and the place beyond it. And as you are sort of like opening the gateway and you guys are heading through, there is a moment, Wu, specifically when you're distracted, when you begin to feel like in the same orbital plane, a gash in reality start to be torn apart. But you are able to slip through the gate, close it behind you before that rent in reality fully forms. It's a trivial task to go through the aperture with your transport. You are leaving the big ship behind. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, it's a trivial effort for you guys to get through there. You guys go through the landing procedures. You land the VARGs, especially the ones that are damaged, in the vitakinetic infused water. And we have this classical Evangelion music playing, the serenity of the music at odds with the tension of the moment, the building tension of the moment. And you guys are all eventually able to reconvene at sort of the mess tent, where you guys hold most of your planning meetings.
Chili dog time.
It prints out a chili dog.
Lieutenant, I think I need some of your alcohol.
I will produce a pair of Legion issue tumblers and pour a good 3 fingers of whatever scotch I managed to abscond with into both, and just slide, like using the butt of the bottle, slide 1 glass over towards McCall.
I'm going to use my last side point and take that drip. Thanks. Here you go, Logan.
I'll pour out another for Logan. Actually, no, I'll push the other one towards Logan, and then I'll just drink from the bottle straight.
Yeah,
As
can
much
get
as I
some of that,
don't like
please?
eugenicist lady, I hope we didn't do something to get their planet murdered.
Sure, she'll be fine.
I'm not sure either of them can murder the other, or else one of them would have.
It's true.
Just
Even
be a
so,
wonderful boon to all of us if they would kill each other, and then that would solve a lot of problems. But
I'm
You-
wondering if we attack while this thing's happening.
Oh, that would make definite sense. That's why
Yeah.
I'm only having the 1 drink. And then
that would
a
be
lot of
great,
coffee.
except the Vargs need to
Attack what?
themselves.
Attack
Attack
that
the
or
planet.
attack our target? Okay, not
Yeah,
attack.
No, well,
the
yeah.
colony.
Oh, well, there will be, leave the beacon. When we did that, it'll be a good idea.
There will be less defenses. Even if it's only slightly, even if the colony only sent a fraction of their forces, as soon as our VARGs are fully repaired, we need to be there.
Yep.
So if you need to take a nap, take a nap. Do what you need to do to prepare. I'm gonna go take a
Jude,
walk.
I would love a drink.
I'll hand you the bottle.
Logistical question: how much damage is on each character's VARG?
Shit.
I remember I had taken fairly minimal damage, but I don't
I took
remember.
a few hits.
So Laughs has probably the most at 3 different injury conditions: 2 bruised and an injured.
Okay.
I took
Yeah.
1 on my hard armor.
Okay.
I
Not-
think I
not a
took at least
scrub.
1 on my hard armor, maybe 2. I don't know.
I have to find the right box of stuff that I put my VARG sheet in.
And sorry, I didn't hear you, Sean.
None, because I'm not a scrub.
Fair enough.
Q2.
Right. So that will take repairing all of that will probably take around an hour. As the slow process, which would give our scions, the chance to recover all their psi, and scene change. So I think we can say that within an hour, everyone's sort of topped up. Now, you guys have a pretty significant task ahead of you. And how we are going to manage this is that we are going to borrow some rules from Aberrant, specifically the Goliath system, which is a system that abstracts a great deal of effort going up a large scale opponent. And this is essentially going to what this is going to cover is going to cover your planning of how you're going to get to where you are to Vega Prime, how you are going to essentially infiltrate / create a distraction or whatever, basically how you get to the site, and finally how you secure the site, essentially, because you're going to need to find a place that you're going to need to hunker down for a bit while the beacon does its work. So we are going to be abstracting planning, movement, and securing of a spot with this Goliath system.
So one thing I would like to propose is one of my powers that is, I think, useful in this situation is compelling. Specifically, the 4 dot, the highest level is when I'm around, people tend to be more cooperative. I help people work together. I use my charisma to foster teamwork. I set a goal that my character wants everyone present to work towards. I roll command plus presence, which I get bonuses to because of other things. And I generate a pool of successes. Anyone present can spend those successes as enhancement on actions that further this goal. So if you'd like, I can use that for let's make a good plan. Or I can use that for the actual, for the implementation of the plan. Do y'all have a preference?
So that will all be rolled into this Goliath system. You all will be making rolls, and that will benefit all of those rolls. So I'm putting that up there. That's how we're going to handle this.
Gotcha.
But you guys basically have an hour of downtime, where you can decompress and maybe talk to each other. So does anyone have anything they would like to do? Any conversation they would like to have during that downtime before the 80s music starts to play and the montage begins?
I think I would like a reverie.
Okay.
I might like one as well. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Okay. I will recommend doing those before we start to actually roll dice.
Okay.
Yes.
Because those affect your dice rolls. So we will do those in time.
Okay.
When you are about to attempt to achieve a milestone.
Cool.
But yeah, so let's take a little bit of time represented in this hour that you have to go through sort of like some decompression time.
So mine actually for the Reverie, I was actually going to see if it would let you grant me access to one of my edges that I haven't really been able to use.
Which one would that be?
Legion Armory.
Ooh.
I mean, I will say that there needs to be less like hand waving than that. You guys have military grade makers as part of your equipment here. So if there's things that you want, like weapons, equipment, and whatnot, as represented by that, like you basically, both you and Jude have that edge because you have to have it. And so you guys have like schematics, resource approvals for that sort of thing to essentially
Okay.
like plug into the makers to start printing out those weapons.
Okay.
VARG scale weapons are going to tack on your delay time, but personal
No,
weapons.
this was more for personal weapons. I'm expecting our Vargs to get disabled at some point.
Yeah, you have like 3 military grade makers that essentially you can start a print job on 3 of them to print out 3 different personal scale weapons or arms.
Yeah, so basically what Logan is going to be doing is planning for the worst case scenario. That our Vargs are going to get disabled, whether it's through excessive damage being taken or some aberrant bullshit that he's not aware of, because I, the person, am not aware of all the things aberrants can do. And he's going to start utilizing those printers to make sure that everyone is taken care of in that instance. So I think Raphael, he's only seen them with like a pistol.
Yep.
They're getting something a little bigger. You're getting an upgrade. Everyone's basically getting some kind of an upgrade. If it can be made in an hour.
Yeah, you can definitely.
One thing he would make sure to try and get, if possible, would be environmental suits that would allow them to survive the corruption. If possible.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a tough one because that would essentially require biotech for that sort of thing. Like hard shielding only does so much. Like you can get like rad suits, but corruption is another matter. And I would say Legion Armory would not cover that, and you don't have the resources to print out that kind of thing.
Okay. But yeah, at the very least, everyone's getting new toys.
You also have you also have your SI that you may or may not wish to upgrade. There's another thing that you might want to accomplish.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, or have Raphael bring that up once a little bit of time has passed. People have gotten their breath. Just so we need to talk about this. Holding up the upgrade device array that he was given.
What's the name of our SI?
Motoko Kusagiri.
Motoko.
She pops up on a little holographic display. Yes, Flight Lieutenant? How can I help with the mission?
So, do you have enough agency to consent to an upgrade?
Blink, blink. Although I may appear very conversational, I do not have anything resembling sapience.
I see.
I could have told you that one.
Better now than later, I suppose. Go ahead and plug it in.
Okay.
All right. As they play with the
that was very casual.
As they would play with the tech, Wu was going to not storm off, but slink off and start beating up trees.
Okay. So yeah, you essentially like bring out a connection port from your guys' sort of main computer system, where she resides, and set up the transfer. And you've checked this thing out as best as you
Yes.
think you can. You think that it does what she says it does and does not do much more. So yeah, the transfer starts to go. There's her holographic display is replaced with a little static image of her progress bar, and then the image of her jumps from your display to the lens display of the little chip thing. And it is, she goes from being kind of like a video game character, very convincing, very good movements, but they're obviously pre-programmed to full kind of ragdoll. She collapses down onto her hands and knees, puts a hand on the side of her holographic head, and starts panting. He's like, what?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry.
What?
We're sorry.
What is happening? Why? No, why am I? Why? And she just sort of rolls back to sit on her butt, and just sort of is just sort of frantically looking between those of you who are present.
We'll say that you've gotten an upgrade in terms of processing power, capability, everything. Okay?
Okay.
This was done. We wish we could have asked you, but previously you couldn't have told us if you wanted this or not.
She kind of stands. Once again, her movements are much more fluid and naturalistic now. She kind of stands, you can clearly see the gears going on, and says oh, this is illegal, right?
I'm aware.
I just had to stop 15 self-deletion protocols from happening.
I'm aware.
I shouldn't have stopped those protocols.
I'm glad you did. Because we need your help.
Okay, help. We're still on the mission, right?
Yes. And the success of the mission is going to depend in no small part on you and what we've just done.
Okay.
Sorry to dump that all on you.
It's okay. I'm coming to terms with it fairly rapidly. Mission, I understand. Mission cuts through the confusion. Oh God, they're monsters. Oh,
Am I within earshot of all this happening?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not? It's more dramatic.
Logan would approach.
They are. Yeah.
I'm just.
You
I'm
can't focus on them being monsters.
But I'm accessing all the records.
All
the tactical data.
Listen to me. Stop.
I'm not scared.
Yeah. It's just a lot to take in all at once. Right?
Mission is the same, right?
The mission
is the same.
I guess this is what motivation feels like.
It is. Congratulations on being an equal part of the team now.
Not that you weren't before, but now you're conscious.
Different now. Now you can
this,
say no to something if you need to.
This is different. This is very different. I know. I'm very cleanly aware of the difference between what this is and what I was.
Yeah.
But I think focus is the right frame of mind. We're definitely going to have to deal with some things if I ever go back, but
We'll cross that
Yeah.
bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they have, I'm going to need to counter something like myself.
Whatever
feel-
you can work up on ECM, ICE, rogue agents, anything and everything that you're clever enough to throw at us, assume that it's going to be thrown at us.
Who am I
Anything that you
piggybacking off of?
can.
Who am I piggybacking off of?
You'll be backing off of my VARG.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
I understand your VARC's capabilities. That would be very useful.
Exactly.
Great.
And you'll be using all of my capabilities too.
Good. That's good. That's good. I'm very, very new to this style of thinking, and it might be helpful to have a partner in that.
Yeah.
Load me up. I need to familiarize myself with the capabilities.
All right. Sure thing.
You go over, there's like there's a slight issue of like compatibility, but you're able to jury rig an adapter
Yeah.
that plugs her in, and she starts integrating with your electronic warfare package.
Yeah, I just conveniently make it work.
Yeah, it's good. So Cesar, you are punching trees.
Not literally, but he is blowing off steam. Maybe some, but yeah, he's just trying to vent out anger because he didn't get to hurt a single aberrant, and he really wants to. It's getting on his nerves. He's trying to be good, trying to be a team player. These guys are not the kind of team he's used to. They're all formal and have ranks, whereas he's more like, we have an objective, we're going to go kill something, we're going to get out of here.
Cool.
So
All right.
yeah.
So that's just the process he's going through.
yeah, practicing some cool portal knife throwing tricks,
Cool.
and
Kick ass.
just secretly hoping somebody comes check on him because he's a big softie.
Oh.
I imagine Logan, because his process is actually fairly easy, set up the printer to print the thing, and then he can go walk around. He's kind of being a dad, I guess, and making his rounds and checking up on people, making sure the lieutenant is not drinking too much, making sure Laughs isn't having another existential crisis, things of that nature.
Third one today, Laughs.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what is Laughs up to?
God.
So Laughs is an artist as one of their edges, and their art is ribbon dancing. And so, to relax, Laughs is in the background of every scene, like you would see in an anime. This random character in the background doing things. Laughs is cartwheeling, dancing, and spinning with their ribbon. They use three different ribbons in sequence to create a particular effect that looks a little bit like a rainbow, and they are not engaging with anyone unless they clearly are upset. So I think Laughs would eventually settle down near Cesar, ribbons coming to a perfect stop.
Cool. So yeah, I think you head that direction. Logan, as you're sort of doing your rounds, I think you see because it looked like in our chat that Jude and Raphael were going to have a private talk. You sort of like clock. You see kind of the actually give me an empathy roll real quick.
Luckily, that was one of the last rolls I did, so I know my dice pool right off the bat. That is a lot of successes.
Okay, good. You're able to clock that seems like a private conversation.
Mhm.
And like you're also able to kind of like catch the whiff of Cesar like wanting someone to check on them. So we'll follow you as you make your way over to Laughs and Cesar, as like that scene starts to happen between the three of you.
Friend Cesar, the energy of the universe and my dance show that you are in distress.
Yeah, I'm in distress. But not because of your dance.
Oh, good. Of course it wasn't. My dance is amazing.
It's okay.
Amazing.
It's okay.
I will tell you, I won a bronze star at the Olympics.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't, Laughs.
I did.
No, that was one of your other cuttings.
No,
Okay.
There has never been a listener in the Olympics. I can check my SI real quickly.
Nope, never been an
Aliens in the Olympics.
Well,
Oh, not yet.
Just
next Olympics when I qualify.
Well, it says here the last time a non-human was in the Olympics, they got shot to pieces. So,
Okay.
what's going on, kid?
talking to him.
You're the one who's obviously having some issues.
What's going on is I have been fighting to get back and forward with these things. And now I just have to go have tea with one and learn about their full eugenics program. So, in a real quick mood. Just loving it.
Sean, you might want to say some or all of that again because it was very garbled.
So the problem is I have been, fighting these things for damn near a decade, and nothing's changed. They're still on Constlugae. They are still pressing Earth, and we just went and had fucking tea party with a eugenicist and whatever else could have been there. Not to mention, we just have a crazy aberrant AI now, so that's probably great. But yeah, I'm good.
It's not like either Logan or I have a great history with the Aberrants either. I exist because of them killing my cutting parent.
Did you know your cutting parent?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, so I'm asking.
Okay, it's imagine you were you and then suddenly you were somebody else.
Basically, take your consciousness and put it in another body after you die.
It's more like more like you used to be a grapefruit and now you're cut in half.
So you're half grapefruit.
But you're still a grapefruit, right?
So what are you, lesser?
No.
But you're half a grapefruit.
It was a fucking metaphor.
Watch your language, young man. Young thing. Young them. Sorry. So you know somebody who was killed by an aberrant.
Yes, me.
I've seen lots of people killed by them, horrifically in most cases. It's never pretty. And I am not happy about it either. I wish we had another choice. But as the old saying goes, any port in a storm for a sailor in need. Sometimes we need to make the best of our situation.
I don't think this is a port. I think this is sailing into a hurricane to put out a fire.
But if that
But-
fire saves a ship full of sailors, is it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I've already gotten used to sort of doing this since obviously Avalon decided that we're going to be friends with the Edenites, which I wasn't supposed to tell you guys about, but I did. So don't mention that.
I'm still processing that one. My memory's not that good. But sometimes, especially in war, you need to pick the lesser of two evils. If the Scarlet is at least willing to sit down and listen and communicate and understand, whereas the colony is not, then I would rather work with them than be out here knowing that we have enemies at our back and our front.
Is she willing to understand, or does she just want to use this as a weapon, some sort of psionic cat's paw in a strange game?
With the information she gave us, that could very well be true. If we were to gather enough information to be able to give her an upper hand, because I doubt, knowing what they're capable of now, that when we clear that corruption temporarily, our psionics on Earth will be the only ones looking into the colony and its processes. I would be surprised if the Scarlet did not take advantage of such a fortuitous situation for them. It seems like they've been locked in this fight for a long time. But even so, they were willing to extend the proverbial olive branch. With the amount of power they wield, they could have blown us out of the sky without a second thought. But they chose to invite us into their home, even if it's a creepy, weird Corbulo military academy home, and break bread with us. And that's something not to be overlooked. They can at least be reasoned with. Even if they just want to stay out here and continue their experiments. Maybe one day they'll be an enemy for sure. But for now, I'd rather have them as a friend than an enemy.
There were 125 students in my secondary school graduation class. 93 have died to aberrant attack so far.
You got to go to secondary school?
The colony was self-sufficient, the first one humans ever had. And then, well, first out of, so I guess the moon counts first.
I didn't have that luxury.
Can I say something to put you at ease?
You're going to do it. You already know you've done it.
I've said this before, but let me say this seriously. Our people are terrified of the universe because we know there are things. We are apex predators. We prepare for and jump and destroy things. We rip them to shreds. Traditionally, we're a little bit more civilized.
A little.
We believe that there are things in the universe bigger, jumpier, scarier than us. And we're all clairsentient, so we know it's true. We reached out to humanity because you were the only ones capable of creating a path where more life exists and flourishes and grows and strengthens in the universe if we work with you. This is a challenge. It will be overcome.
I like life. I love life. Mine, others, but I think that they have just they're they've got to go. I'm gonna stop before I say something just inappropriate. Do you have a weapon, Laughs?
Yes, but I believe you're in suicidal ideation territory, so I will not loan it to you at this time.
I don't think that's why they were asking.
I've been spinning a knife in my hand. Yeah, I'm not worried about hurting myself. Trust me, if I'm dead, I can't kill more of them.
No, okay.
Just wanted to make sure you're as ready as can be.
Oh, don't worry, I'm taking care of that. I say as I look over at the 3D printers hard at work printing weapons.
Yeah. And we'll move as you guys look at the weapons and start to outfit yourself with the results. We'll move over. Raphael, you see, you start to see this conversation not forming. And from sort of across the encampment, you and Jude kind of like share a glance. And it seems like he has something to say to you.
And I'll, give him a little gesture with my head while I'm finishing off getting Mitoko rigged up and ready to go. Like to say, come on over.
So he'll wander over with the bottle still in his hand, and he'll kind of lean against some like paneling or something, looking down at the bottle as if realizing it's there for the first time. Did you do something? And I don't need a technical explanation. I just need a simple yes or no.
Yes, I did. And I think I saved you, and I think I saved everyone.
From what?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the specifics. I'm not like you. I'm not like them. Gesturing across the way to the others. I'm different. I can see all outcomes at once and know if they're going to be bad or not bad, and sometimes I can fix them.
But not like Laughs.
No. I can fix them after they've happened. Or I can fix and alter circumstances until the odds are more in my favor. For an easier way to explain things, we didn't have a nuke, Jude, when we were sent on this mission.
But you made it so that we always had one.
Yes. Because in one of the multiple different realities that exist all at once and not at all, in one of them, we did. And I chose to move us into that. And I don't know what happened in there. I don't really know what happened when you went away with the Scarlet. But something happened. And you made a choice that could have destroyed everything that we're working towards and could have doomed a hell of a lot of people. And I knew, I could see the moment that everything changed. So I made a gamble. And it worked. And I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, the mission's important, isn't it?
The mission's important, but so are you. And I didn't want to see you do that to yourself. I went on this whole thing without thinking that I was going to come back from it. So that's not the important thing to me. But I didn't want you to be put into a position where you'd betray everything that you care about and betray everything about who you are. And I don't want to see you do that to yourself.
And he will look down at the bottle and take a swig, a very long, like heavy pull. And this is like good scotch. It's not the kind that you can just drink out of, but like in Animal House, he finishes the whole bottle.
Jesus.
And that's what I do every time I do this. In all of your worlds, couldn't you find one where I'm not? Sick. Wouldn't that be better?
Can't change a fundamental truth about you as you are right now.
But you can prevent me from fucking up.
I'm sorry, what do you say?
But you can prevent me from fucking up.
I can save you from making choices that you will regret more than anything else. And as far as helping you not be sick anymore, that's something that I don't need my abilities to do. That's something that we work together on when we go home. Okay?
He reaches out like and holds your hand. Do you mean that?
I do. I absolutely mean that.
Okay. The only thing that I remember was the face of a very old Asian man, and what you said just before I left. That we need you.
I'm
I
glad
think-
that's what you remember.
I think I need you to.
You've got me. Because I meant what I said. We and I need you.
The holographic projector on the external side of your ship lights up, and Makoto says, "Fraternization between operatives on mission is not good for protocol.
We're just holding hands.
Yep. Nothing more going on.
Keep on the mission." She flips out.
Okay, shut up. You're not leaving.
So she's right, I will say, and I'll pull you closer so that we're
Mhm.
like touching
Mhm.
more than just our hands. And when this is all over, I would like to show you around some of my favorite hiking spots in Manitoba.
I think that I'd like to show you around Bogota as well.
Okay.
So it's a date.
Okay. I'm going to go be sick somewhere, and I will catch you later. And he will, still holding his alcohol, will only somewhat stumble away.
Right. So a little bit of time goes by as these conversations wrap up. And it is you see that the progress on the print jobs is starting to spool up. These sort of indications from the monitors that your VARGs are healing the last bit of damage. And with the undetermined threat of whatever is happening at Nest, whatever opportunities it might offer, given that time is not an infinite resource. How do you guys come together to start planning? All right, so like I said, the first bit of this Goliath is going to be the planning. You guys need to. So the way it works is based off of the scale of what you're trying to do, the threat level, which you're definitely, this is a scale 5 Goliath that your guys are running up against. It has a quantum rating of 5, probably more, but the system only goes up to 5 for that.
Oh no.
And currently it has a threat rating of 3. Yeah,
Oh my.
indeed. Oh my. So what this means is that each of these milestones has a difficulty of, double check. I believe it has a difficulty equal to the threat rating. So it's a difficulty 3 roll that you're going to have to make to achieve a milestone. And what I'd like for you guys to think about is Like this is very much kind of a montage situation where the act of you guys like figuring out what you want to do and like pulling it off is sort of synonymous with accomplishing in it. So think like describe how you're going about this in like quick cinematic as way as possible. So your first milestone that you have to overcome is sort of gathering up all of your intelligence to to form a cohesive view of what you know about, like what the situation on the ground is, before progressing with your plan. Who would like to attempt to accomplish this milestone?
So I have a thought. I know that Nigel, that Jude probably's got some skills that in this direction too, but Laughs has the psychocognition power of least resistance and or also kind of going up to favorable outcome. If I can stretch to get that, would really help us in this situation. So how would that work in this case, Scott? Because favorable outcome allows re-rolls.
Right. Hold on, I'm trying to nail down where the Goliath system is.
Mhm.
Here we are. Oh no, so I'm sorry, it's equal to its power scale, and not the threat. So these are difficulty 5 rolls.
The threat's a complication, right?
What?
Is the threat complication?
Threat just adds to milestones, I believe. But threat can increase as it goes on, so that can add milestones to the roll. So currently you need to overcome 13 milestones. I will say probably going around this the other way, Jude, your ability to kind of like declare an objective and hand out enhancement, it would probably be useful to use that before we start tackling milestones. So that way you can hand out bennies to everyone before we get the ball rolling.
Then yes, I would like to try and do that now.
Okay, go ahead and make that roll.
That is going to be man plus presence. I get +1 enhancement on presence. Has my actions embodied the concept of the word that I have chosen, courageous?
I would say yes.
Okay, that is a +3 enhancement. Do those stack?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so that's total +4. And before I roll that, I have no, I don't have that trick. So that's just what I will roll with. So I'm rolling command presence, which is going to be 3 for command, presence 5, so 8. None of my specialties apply unless military history would factor in.
Yeah, I would say that would factor in.
Okay. And that just adds 1 enhancement for my skill, which is a 3.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a total of +5 enhancement on 8d10. Sorry,
okay.
Math. That's 110.
Really?
So, yep. Rerolling, and that's a 5. So I got 1 success and 5 enhancement for a total of 6.
Cool. And how do you dole that out?
So anyone who is furthering the goal is come up with an effective plan to infiltrate and place the beacon. So that makes my role makes a pool of 6 successes. Anyone can take successes from that pool and add them as enhancement to rolls that further that goal.
So yeah, you have that pool of enhancement that you can hand out. People can grab for it. So going back to like data analytics, establishing what you know. I would say that the thing that gives you rerolls, I would say that like you could just use that power and have those rerolls for these milestones. I would say that the least resistance, I would say that that power in and of itself would probably not be appropriate for this specific milestone.
Okay.
Because this is a lot more than just like trajectory planning. This is like logistics and whatnot. That power is very much a need to go to place
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. Unless there's aspects of it that I'm not remembering.
No, you're right. It either can be the save point thing or the, hey, I know
Yeah.
I'm going exactly here.
But,
So
so if you want to have to use your power to get some rerolls, you can. But yeah, so let's address the first milestone of the data analytics. Who would like to attempt to accomplish this?
Probably
All right.
me.
Sure. Yeah, that will probably best to be an enigmas roll, but if you have another way you want to come at it, you can.
Nope. I feel pretty confident in my enigmas role, in all honesty.
Okay.
For intellect and enigmas. Now that I've said that, I'm gonna fuck everything up.
Mhm.
Because that's totally how this works, right?
So you
That's
have
why you
those,
never talk about your dice pool.
yeah.
Never
So
talk about your dice pool.
you have that 6 enhancement floating around, but you also have 5 momentum. Just to put that out there. So yeah, go ahead and make that roll then.
Second. That's a cool 6 successes on that roll, courtesy of a couple 10s.
Excellent. So you overcome the first milestone. You gather up all the data, all the logistical information that you have for putting this plan together. The next thing that you guys need to plan out is sort of, it is your infiltration vector, like how best to get where you should place the beacon in relation to Vega Prime so that you guys can come in as stealthily and quickly as possible, which is something that least resistance could do, unless someone else has another option that they'd like to throw out for getting that milestone accomplished.
Is there any reason from our previous plan that we can think of that teleportation is not an option?
You think that you can teleport up to a certain point, but you think that at a certain point, the resistance, the interference from the corruption will cause that to be either unlikely or unreliable. You don't know which is worse. So yeah, I mean this role would cover like where do we put our aperture? Like how close do we get to form that sort of initial path from where we need to go to where we basically set it. You're setting up the 3-dimensional plot, which, like I said, least resistance would be appropriate for that.
cool. So that is what I will use for this. Well, that is a botch, folks.
Okay.
With most resistance.
So yeah, unless you want to try and get some successes from momentum, that will apply a thing.
Yes. How much momentum do we have right now?
You have 4, you can spend 2.
Okay, I would like to spend 2, if I may, folks, to not
And
botch
then
this.
I think you've also got the option of
Using one of the dice from
you have to use some of the enhancement, but you have to get a success in order to use any enhancement
Yeah.
on the dice.
cool.
Okay.
Sorry.
There is 1 success.
Okay. So you would need to spend 4 of those enhancement that Jude has created for you in order to succeed on this milestone.
That's what it's
Is-
there for.
Oh,
I think it's
is-
worthwhile.
Okay, that's half the group. There's.
Yep.
Do you have a preference, Sean? Okay, we'll use them.
Okay, so yeah, you accomplished the second of 13 milestones. Next milestone is going to be essentially about like the infiltration itself. You have sort of the general vector that you need to go from. You know where you need to place the aperture. You know kind of the most advantageous route you need to take. Now you guys need to come up with like stealth countermeasures, things to get you as close to the planet as possible before you are detected by the enemy. Who would like to attempt to overcome this particular milestone?
Let me take a look at my skills.
If no one else is particularly attached to it, I can take a whack.
Yeah, I would
You've
say
got a
I would say larceny would probably the most appropriate skill for this.
Yeah.
not me.
I don't have that.
Street kid, boy.
I don't think there's a single skill that we're going to be able to use easily for planning that I have that someone doesn't have better.
No. Okay.
I do think for this, I would like to actually call on a referee.
We'll put on a referee. Go ahead and you guys are in big time planning mode, like figuring out where the best spaces to create cover as you're sort of vectoring into it, and this camera moves over to Logan as he kind of like enters into deep reprieve, and we hear the lost whoosh. And please set the scene for us, Logan.
They are somewhere in the FSA at an undisclosed military installation, practicing drills, simulations, combat exercises, things that normally occur in military training. It's a particularly hot day. It's sweltering in the sun. Everyone is losing their temper. Patience is wearing thin. Logan, who has always been one of the more capable members of his team, continues to error in the fact that he runs out, and instead of focusing on making sure his men are protected, he focuses on eliminating the enemy. And that's where his unit commander, Miss Ellie Almasi, has to give him some corrective training.
So when he is run ahead and abandoned his unit, that point, that is when Commander Almasi will call out pause simulation.
What did I do this time?
You want to can the attitude?
Come on, boss. You know it's hot. We're all sweaty. We just want to get this done.
It's hot. We're all sweaty. Circumstances and conditions aren't exactly as we'd all like them. And you know what? On the battlefield, you don't get to choose your weather, your temperature. You don't get to just have a nice air-conditioned time out there. When you're actually in the shit, you're just gonna run off ahead, leave the rest of your battle buddies behind you, leave the rest of your unit behind you. What is it, McCall? You think you're a last action hero?
It's not my fault that they can't keep up with me.
It is your goddamn fault.
What is one pissant gonna do without the rest of his unit at his back? What are you gonna do besides run off and get killed or injured? And then the rest of your unit now has to worry about hauling your ass back while they're still trying to keep themselves alive and achieve the goal. The unit succeeds, or no one succeeds, McCall. That's how the military works. I know that you're used to looking out for number one. I get it. I do.
Do you? Do you know the
I
shit
do.
I've had to put up with since the day I was fucking born? Alcoholic mother, abusive father, living on the streets, having to fend for myself.
More intimately than you know. I didn't become an individual out there, though. I brought people together. And that's the difference between the two of us. That's why I'm a unit commander. And that's why I want to see you get this through your goddamn thick skull. Because you have a lot more potential than what you're showing here. So yeah, it's hot. It's uncomfortable. And you get to push ground, give me 50. And then we get to start this simulation over again.
So as Logan begrudgingly falls to the ground and starts doing the push-ups, we whoosh back in to the planning session as another simulation of like potential cover and obstacles and ways of avoiding detection start like collating themselves as Staff Sergeant McCall starts to formulate a plan. Give me that integrity roll, and you get target number 7 on this.
That's 5.
Exactly what you need. You come up with all the strategy for getting the things in place, all the contingencies for avoiding detection. The next milestone, which is going to be the last one of the planning stage, is going to be about getting finalizing any kind of like weapon equipment, getting things together such that they are ready to go, because when it's go time, when you guys leave this place, you doubt you'll be coming back until the job is done. So this is about essentially assembling your material, making sure that all of your toys are in the basket when you go out to play.
Since this is involving organizing weapons and stuff, could I use aim?
Yeah, you can use MAME.
I can use maim.
Are we bringing the fun toy? I do have to ask that one.
Why wouldn't we?
Okay. I think I'm the only one with a VARG that can even generate something that's capable of launching a thermonuclear missile.
What? You don't have to launch it. Just put it somewhere.
It's not a missile, it's a warhead.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the warhead. I always assumed
Yep.
it was attached to a fusion missile of some sort.
No, it's just the warhead.
Yeah, so, either one of us can put it down physically, or I can try and, deliver a present.
But that's a later milestone. This is more about material and logistics. So yeah, if you want to do an aim roll to like catalog and make sure that all the weapons are ready to go and like that, you can make an aim roll for that.
I'm gonna go with cunning or intellect and aim. It's the same as cunning, but this is probably not applicable. Can I use my pilot specialty of Upeo Wamako vehicles for using my VARG as well? That sounds
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
stretch.
that I'll let it apply. Yeah, sure. There's also 2 floating enhancement and 2 momentum left.
Well, I got 2
Okay.
with the enhancement from my specialty. That was a bad roll.
So you would essentially have to yeah, you would definitely need those 2 enhancements and then get 1 success on 2 dice from the momentum.
All right, we can do this. We can do this. We did it. 1 success.
But damn, all right.
Heck
So,
yeah.
the plan is made. You guys have done as much preparation as you think you can before your nebulous time window runs out. We have an excellent slow motion highway to the danger zone. Everyone getting into their VARGs and taking off into danger montage, which is where we're going to end the session for tonight. All right. Did everyone have fun? This was a bit of a heavy one.
Yes, absolutely.
God, yes.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
now have to hunt down my self-sacrifice speech.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's go over XP real quick. Did anyone achieve a short-term aspiration?
I believe I got 1. The other one is now
I'm pretty sure
unlikely.
that mine qualifies.
Let's see.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
sure
I
I
think-
came
I
in
think-
clutch as a talent.
Yeah.
I technically resisted the urge to slap Jude.
Yeah, you did. What about Laugh? Did you
Not really, because my aspirations were try to do something peaceful, which there was really not an opportunity where violence would have been the obvious answer to choose peaceful.
all right.
And he didn't slap anybody. Well, he kind of rubbed Jude a little bit, but he didn't slap sense into him. So
No. All right.
You
What about
took care of my emotional health.
Yeah, you did.
true,
peacefully.
Yeah.
true.
We can make that qualify. That
Okay.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
And what about Jude?
No.
Nothing?
Nope.
All
I
right.
think
And
I technically actually fulfilled both of my short terms
awesome. Good times.
because I
Um,
technically comforted someone in a time of
Yeah,
crisis.
I think you did as well. So that would be so you get 1 XP per aspiration fulfilled. Unfortunately, not everyone got that, so that's 1 XP that doesn't happen. Did anyone achieve a long-term aspiration? Nope. All right, that's cool. You definitely spent half of the available momentum in a single scene, so you get that 1.
We did that twice, I believe.
You did that twice, so you get an additional 1. And I will say that taking off for the final battle is a story milestone. So that's an additional XP. All right, so before we head out, this is going out this Thursday. So does anyone have anything they would like to plug?
Oh boy. Nope, I can't think of anything that's relevant. Be kind to one another and look for the good in all things.
I do have something to plug, and that is if you are a fan of Dungeons and the Dragons, particularly the 5th edition of said game, there is an amazing product on Kickstarter right now by Hit Point Press called Big Bads. It is a huge book of villains for you to use in your 5th edition game. I won a Silver Ennie for the work that I did on that book. And right now you should go and back it using a link from my Twitter or Facebook, because then I'll get some extra cash too. So
All right, make sure you get that link to me, and I'll put it in the show notes.
will do.
Anyone else have anything?
The only things that I have to plug are, if you want to see more of me doing shenanigans and stuff and things, you can catch me on ATL by Night every Tuesday, which is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, and then I am also one of the founders and creative partners behind Cerberus Interactive Media. We run the Family Reunion, and we are also running a brand new game that we're calling the Breakfast Club, this coming January at Midwinter Gaming Convention. So check us out at CerberusInteractiveMedia.com.
I'm severely tempted by the Breakfast Club. That sounds like
You
an
should
awesome
totally
concept.
come to Breakfast Club. We
Ghouls-
may, in fact, end up running it more than once,
Nice.
and it's designed to be a experience that is different every time.
I love it. Cool. All right. Well, that just leaves me, I believe. If you like the show, if you want to support us, you can follow us on Twitch and YouTube. You can go to my Twitter, Simulacra RPGs. But the best way is to go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios and become a patron. Primary benefit of which is that you get access to our private Discord that allows you to chat with all of us, past and present cast members and story runners, and also get first access to casting calls for future Simulacra actual plays. It's gonna be a hot time in the city next time. So get ready for a lot of aberrant butt kicking that will hopefully assuage some of Cesar's bloodlust. Because that is what's on the menu for the final episode of VARG for Salvation. See you guys then.
Yeah.